Hello.
No,
How do you manage with a wife that is in ministry?
try to support, as much as you can. You also ask God to give you the courage to be supportive.
Why did you say courage to be supported? Why the word courage, not strength, not something? Why courage?
Uh, I'm not sure. I think that's just the word that came to me. Um, but yeah, I mean strength as well. Just basically, it's not something, as with a lot of things. It's not something that you can do on your own. And you have God that you can call on to give you strength. There's nothing wrong with admitting that it's not something that you can do on your own. That's what a lot of tasks. There's nothing wrong as a Christian with just saying it's not something I can do on my own. I need help from God with this, with that, and that also includes being a supportive husband when your wife is in ministry. So yeah.
Somebody has woken up the baby. Question. How, what do you think, or what is your take on ministry coming to the house where you live with your children, with your family? What is your take on that? What are the pros? What is your take on that? Is it fulfilling? Is it out of the? Is it in the way? What?
What do you mean? I guess could you elaborate? Like, what is an example?
Like when we have meetings in the house, how is that? Knowing that you have kids around, is it worth the lives that are being impacted? Is it worth the changes? Is it worth it to bring the ministry home?
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, it is. At the same time, it's important to strike a balance, especially when you have kids in the house. It's not always easy to arrange around them. So, so I think it's something that's easier to do when the kids are older, much older, or just if you're, someone who doesn't have kids. It's more of a challenge when you have three kids in the house. But yeah, it's worth it to see their lives being impacted.
Do you feel like ministry was easier before or after kids?
I guess before, I think, um, I'm not sure. I guess the same.
Okay. Do you feel like the impact was different before or after kids, or just on different types of impact?
Like different types of impact.
How would you say ministry has affected your personal growth?
Um, I don't know how to answer, but I mean it has for sure. Just uh, I guess just you know looking back at a couple years back and comparing, um, I would say being in the ministry has kind of shown me how to do certain things differently, just personally. So yeah, I would say it has. Although I can't articulate like specifically like specific ways right now. Just generally, yeah.
Thank you. One last question. What would you say to a woman that is in ministry on how she needs to conduct herself around her family, her husband, if she's the one in ministry and she's the one in the forefront? What are certain things that she needs to have solidified for that ministry to thrive? Having a husband, having family and things like that, what does she have to have? So, for example, I would say like humility is necessary, strength in humility and things like so. I'll stop there right there.
Mm. Yeah, well, humility is definitely important. Um, and also, just making sure that you have the support of your family, because
Like, don't just run ahead and leave them behind and expect them to just run behind you.
yeah, that just generally, just make sure that whatever whatever you're getting involved in, that they're the first people that you talk to about it before you make that decision. Of course, you talk to God as well, but talk to your family about it too. Um, yeah, like you said, humility, and just balance. I think I don't want to misspeak here, but I think one of the things that people in the ministry kind of have to keep in mind is that your family is also a ministry in a way. So if that ministry is being neglected for the other ministry, that's not good. So yeah, treat the family also as a ministry, or maybe treat it as a part of the ministry, and everything should be good.
Praise God.
Yeah.
Now, question on obedience. In ministry, have I ever said God said and you said no and I went ahead?
Uh, no, I don't think so. Not that I know of.
How important is that to you?
How important is
That obedience.
to God to
I've never told you anything that you said no, but the obedience, knowing that you have that obedience, that you maintain the authority even though there is a ministry.
I mean, honestly, I haven't really thought about it a lot. Um, like my attitude toward just marriage is that we make decisions together, and but it's not always easy to do that because we're two different people. So just me personally, speaking for myself personally, not speaking as husband in a Christian marriage. Just speaking for me personally, if there's something that you feel strongly enough that you want to do, like generally, I don't like being the person that stops people from doing what they want to do. And once you say, it's God that says you should do it, I that's even double. Like that's another thing on top of just me generally not being the type of person to like stop people from doing what they want to do if they're grown adults. So like to me personally, it's not super important as it would be to like most people, but it's something that as part of like a unit in the Christian family is something that God um, says that we should observe, which is that I think the man of the house still needs to be the person who is okay with everything that the the wife does and the children in the house do. So like in that sense, that's still very much important. But like I said, once um, you've gotten revelation that this is something that God wants you to do, generally I try not to oppose.
What if you sense different?
Well, then that can be hard to, I guess, it can be hard to settle between the both of you. Um, Just pray. I guess pray about it. And usually, praying will reveal, the appropriate action if you're both praying about it.
Last question. I think I already said it, right? Are you ready for this interview to be over?
Yeah, I don't really like being on camera, so. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Till next quarter. See you later.